So we have about 15 minutes to go through this, and then we have two other amazing organizations, and we're going to learn how to get crypto wallets and all sorts of interesting things, and I'll share more later. But without further ado, I'm absolutely pleased to introduce the amazing leaders of OneSkin. We have here Carolina Oliveira. She is the CEO, and we also have Alessandra Zonari, and she is the CSO. Let me just say, I met these women how many years ago?
5 years ago?
5 years ago, when you were at a biolab in Dogpatch in San Francisco, and I saw the labs, and this was before I think the product launched.
Yeah, we were still like researching skin aging at that time. We had no idea we will get to a product. We were very in the beginning, only a group of scientists, PhD, trying to learn more about skin aging, biomarkers, and what's driving the aging process on the skin, and how we could reverse that.
You've come such a long way, and so we are thrilled also to be partnering with you. So we'll talk about that partnership in a bit, but let me tell you a little bit about these two wonderful people and their organization. So OneSkin is a fast-growing longevity company that is developing products designed to promote skin age reversal by targeting a central driver of aging, and that is the accumulation of senescent cells. So the organization is actually disrupting the outdated anti-aging skincare industry with their groundbreaking research around skin and longevity. Alessandra is co-founder and chief scientific officer. As I mentioned, she earned her master's in stem cell biology and her PhD in regeneration and tissue engineering. The PhD work in skin regeneration was awarded Best Thesis by UFMG, which is amazing. And Alessandra also did a second postdoc in Portugal. Now, in 2017, she joined the early team of OneSkin, where she dedicated her time to understanding the mechanism underlying the aging process and developing science-based solutions that can reverse the skin's biological age. She is the co-inventor of 5 patents and has published over 20 peer-reviewed papers in scientific journals. Now, Carolina is the CEO and co-founder. She holds a PhD in stem cell biology and tissue engineering and is a co-inventor of 5 patents and also co-authored numerous scientific publications. She's relocated from Brazil to Silicon Valley back in 2016 to found OneSkin. And so today we're going to learn a little bit more. They have a booth downstairs. So again, if you have any additional follow-up questions, please go there. And we'll be taking questions from everyone who's streaming along with us. So tell us, what prompted you to create OneSkin? Tell us about the early story.
Okay.
Yeah, I can start. So hello, everyone. So we actually didn't start out to create a product or to create a brand. Initially, our approach was to grow human skins in the lab, and we were testing products that were out there that claimed to be anti-aging to measure if they could actually promote any age reversal effect. So knowing that we can measure the biological age of the skin, and we have developed an algorithm that does that specifically for the skin, MoClock, that's also published, we could test any given product on the skins that we grow in the lab and measure if those products out there were reducing the biological age of the skin. Very fast, what we realized is that none of the products that were out there, they were developed with this rationale of targeting aging itself. So most products are targeting the symptoms of aging. They can help your skin to look better, but some of them can actually accelerate the aging process. So what we found is that there was an opportunity for us to use the longevity science by understanding what are the main drivers of aging and targeting aging at the source in order to promote an age reversal effect that was more significant than what was out there. So basically, we decided to embark on this journey and study cellular senescence and how cellular senescence affects skin aging. So we developed this platform in which first we replicate the skin aging in the lab. We can see that aged skins accumulate more senescent cells. They increase the levels of genes related to aging, inflammation, decrease collagen, hyaluronic acid proliferation. Then we decided to screen novel peptides that were able to specifically target senescent cells and reduce the total amount of senescent cells in the skin. So we tested over 1,000 peptides over 3-4 years, and eventually we landed on OS1. That's our proprietary peptide that we can show a significant reduction in up to 50% in the levels of cellular senescence. And then once we found this peptide, we tested in the skins in the lab, and we could actually measure the age reversal effect by 2.5 years in the ex vivo skins. So with that, we had this molecule, and we basically realized that there was an opportunity for us to bring this as a product to consumers that's scientifically validated to promote this age reversal effect. And from there, we grew into other products, but that's essentially how we got here.
Fantastic. So another question we have is, what are some of the biggest competition-related challenges? I mean, you go to a drugstore on the corner, and there's plenty of L'Oreal and Maybelline, and then also, even investor or consumer perception. Yeah. Because this is a game changer.
This was something that in the beginning we always discuss, like, how do you choose your skincare product? Like, you are so overwhelmed all the time with so many new products. Does they work or not? This was our first question when we started the company. So because we started to validate, and a lot of companies, they call themselves like a science-backed. But if you look to their data, like they're like holding themselves on clinical data from the vendors, science data from the vendors from each ingredients, but they actually never run like any research. So analyzing that and starts to like screening what products are in the market, testing our platform, we just realized there is an opportunity there. Consumers want to believe and trust companies that has real data. So we started to generate this data. We started by like testing what's there, like knowing the results, and then when we developed the product, when we found OS1 and we thought we will be one more in the market, we thought, no, we are different. We have something to offer that's real science, and we can share the data and we can continue doing research. And this will be our big differentiator point. And what we're seeing as we launch direct to consumer, as we start having relationship on conferences and talking to people that are interested on science, we got this trust that you cannot find when you go on a pharmacy and you have so many products there and you have no idea if that was already tested or not, or what is behind. So this data sharing is like an important part for us. We do share our data on our website. We have the scientific publications that sometimes can be very overwhelming to normal consumers to understand. So we break down that science in blog posts, in social media content, and continue like doing research and sharing that. This, I believe, it's like what differs us, and like was able to, even in a crowded market, we could like launch our product and start to grow in this market.
Fantastic. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Is your company looking at all into like development of some of these molecules towards like topical pharmaceuticals? Because I can imagine there might be several indications that could be that a topical senolytic might be used for.
Can you repeat the question in the mic?
Yeah. So there are like a lot of skin disorders, like psoriasis, that could be.
So it's in the.
Oh, sorry. He asked like if we were looking like big pharmas could be looking to topical applications of senolytics to specific disorders, and if we are looking to that. So senolytics, yes, there are some disorders on the skin like psoriasis and even like a skin cancer that can have benefits of topical applications of senolytics. But that, for us as a small company, that goes us to the route, as you mentioned, like of FDA and a whole like amount of investment that in the beginning when we were starting was too high for us to go through. So we decided to like with this peptide that's a very safe and mild type of xenotherapeutic molecule, go to the safe route of aging, skin aging, and we do see from customers benefits on a lot of like skin conditions, but we are not like now designed for that.
Just to add, our goal was, once this is on the market, if we start seeing a pattern like people with eczema or psoriasis or whatever is the condition get like real improvements, then we could pursue that path.
Yeah.
I would say that we have seen some anecdotal data. We still needed to gather more data to justify us to invest further there.
Any other questions from the audience at this time? Okay. Oh, please.
Yeah, in the beginning for the development of the peptide.
That is in vivo, and what is the results of that has been published? Or?
Yeah, so sorry, she said that she was mentioning most of our data, it's on ex vivo in vitro lab data, and if we have like clinical human data. So the whole development of the peptide was done in the lab. So we first started researching ex vivo scan. When we start to formulate this into product to topical applications, we start to run like clinical studies. We do have a clinical study with 22 participants that was run for 12 weeks on the face product, where we saw like improvements on skin elasticity, especially on the skin barrier function of the skin. We have clinical data on the eye product as well, and on the body. The eye product and the face product, the clinical studies are finished, and you can find some data on our website. One of them is under review to be published soon. The other one is the manuscript. We want to publish all our clinical studies. They are on the go to be like on journals soon, but you can already find information of the clinical studies on our website. Yeah, you want to add something?
Yeah, so basically what we see is very interesting, like a real clear correlation between the data that we generate in the lab and the clinical study. So in the lab, we see an increase in the epidermal thickness, and in humans, we see an improvement in the skin barrier. And with that, obviously, because we are targeting like one of the main drivers of aging, we see an improvement in the overall appearance of the skin. We see more collagen production, we see more firmness, reduce in fine lines and wrinkles. And then for the body study, we are also trying to correlate how the treatment of your whole body can affect the levels of inflammation systemically, since your skin is your largest organ and actually produces inflammation that can affect your internal levels of inflammation.
And just another comment on the clinical study that we run with the face product. We run a split face. Because like when you produce a cream to apply topically, of course there are other ingredients, there are oils and other ingredients that will like help like the hydration of your skin, for instance. So we did this split face clinical study where the difference in the formula was only one side has the peptide, the other side does not have, but has all the other ingredients containing the formula. And this is the manuscript that's under review right now. And what was so interesting to see was that this improvement on the skin barrier that correlates with like a better epidermal thickness that we saw in the ex vivo lab studies was only shown on the side that had the peptide. And also like significant improvement on the wrinkles was also noticed only significantly on the side that contained the peptide. So both sides in general like had improvements, but some specific improvements was observed on the side of the peptide, like that was able to validate the potential and the efficacy of the peptide.
So we have to wrap up. If you wouldn't mind going downstairs and asking, I'm sorry, we have to just go over one more thing and we're running a little bit late. So I just wanted to say thank you. OneSkin is actually our first Lifespan Alliance member. So when people donate to our organization, which is how we survive, they're called heroes. And so we've created this initiative called the Lifespan Alliance. And this is for organizations or corporations to also donate. So we are very grateful. OneSkin has graciously offered us a percentage of their revenue on a monthly basis to help us be able to produce stuff like this. They've also worked with us on our Life Noggin YouTube channel, which we acquired several years ago. There are actually some of the videos streaming downstairs on the big screen, and we've worked with DAO on that and SENS as well. But the bottom line is that YouTube channel has over 3 million subscribers, and it's an interesting demographic that normally people in the longevity space wouldn't have accessibility to. And so we're very, very grateful for your partnership. We can't wait to see what you do in the future, and thank you for being here. For everyone online, again, reach out to OneSkin, ask your questions, get involved and find out more, or check out Life Noggin on YouTube and type in OneSkin and see what we did together. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you very much.
We are really happy to be here.